Hey there, today we're going to do a walkthrough of how to set up the autoresponder within the store setup. The first thing we should really cover is why you would want to have an autoresponder integrated with your store anyway. And it's very important that you understand the concept of this so you understand how important and powerful having this tool integrated with your store is. First thing to get out of the way is that of all the people who visit your site, only a tiny fraction, only a tiny percentage of those people are going to order on the first occasion that they hear from you, that they visit your site. It's just a fact of life. In fact, this percentage might actually shock you that it's likely to be north of 90% of people, even 95% of people who visit your site do not order on that first time. So it's our job to create a page, a web page and a web funnel that's designed to capture those visitors' information to allow you the opportunity to follow up with them and through various touch points and build relationships with them so that you have a higher chance of them ordering down the line when they've got to know you, your brand, your company a little bit better. And that's where the autoresponder comes in. You have to have this follow-up sequence. So we're going to jump onto the big screen and explain how to do this, but as long as you grasp that concept that of all the people visiting your site, certainly north of 90%, probably north of 95% of people would leave without placing an order. So you have to capture those people's details so you're able to follow up with them further down the line, re-engage with them, build a relationship with them so that they are going to order from you later on down the line, and that helps increase your lifetime customer value. So let's jump into the system and take a look at how to do this and walk you through the full setup steps. So here we are inside the TinyBrander system, and we are down in store management. You want to be across to the right hand side of the little cog and hit the settings. This brings you into your store setup settings. Now if you're doing a new store for the very first time, you will automatically land in this section anyway, the 9 steps to get to a live store. And we're talking today about step number 4, the autoresponder. So I'm just going to jump directly over there. There we go. Now, remember, you have to have set up your integration with your autoresponder in the settings section previously. That's the first thing you should have done, was set up your autoresponder and set up your payment provider, who's going to take the money. Now we're in the store setup. We go to the autoresponder section and we select which autoresponder we want to integrate with, because you might have a few different ones. I'm going to choose Active Campaign for this particular demonstration. And then it's going to show you the lists that it's pulling out of your Active Campaign or Get Response campaign. And it's going to show you the various lists that are available. Now if I jump over to my Active Campaign account, you can see what I've done here. Okay, so here we are in Active Campaign. If I go across the list, this is just a test account. You can see I've created 2 lists. I've got one list which says prospects and one list which says buyers. Okay, it's important you have 2 separate lists and differentiate them very clearly. You want to make sure you're sending the right people to the right places. Okay, so let's jump back into TinyBrander. Okay, so here we are, and all we have to do is select the mailing list for the prospects, which obviously is my prospects list, select the mailing list for the buyers, which is my buyer list, and we hit continue. That is the TinyBrander side of things done. Okay, that's how easy it is and how quick it is to have that powerful integration done. But there's a further step that you really should do to avoid annoying your prospects and your buyers. And let me just show you the reason for doing this. So if I go and get the live store details here and just paste those in there. As you can see, this is a beauty brand. Now this is the front end of the funnel. So what would happen is your prospect comes to this page, likes the look of everything, fills in the form here to get the order shipped, hits the Rush My Order button. At that point they fill that in. That lead is added to your prospect's account here. Now, as I said, of all the people visiting your site here, 90% of them are going to bounce straight away. They're just going to leave. That leaves you with 10%. Now, of that 10% that stay and fill in this form, of those, probably around only about 30% of those, so 3% total, is going to continue to be a purchased customer. Okay, so you're gathering about 3.5 to 4 times as many leads, prospects, as you are to buyers. So when somebody actually goes through, if I just, I don't know, just fill this in with some junk details. And then just hit rush my order. So when somebody goes through and continues through the order process and actually purchases the product, they will then get added to your buyers list. So you will have the same person on both lists. Now that's not a good idea when you have an automated follow-up system in place, because you don't want to have to be emailing these people individually. You want to have an automated system built up, which is what ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, MailChimp, all of those allow you to do that, to form this drip campaign of emails going out on a timed basis. So you don't want to have the same person on both lists, because otherwise they'll be getting, number one, 2 separate emails, because you're going to speak to people differently on your prospects list as you would on your buyers list. On your prospects list, you're trying to make them become a customer, and on your buyers list, you're trying to engage with them further, for them to really fall in love with your brand so that they buy other things in your range. 2 different kinds of messages going out there. So you don't want them on the same list. So you have to build a system to remove them from the prospects list when they enter the buyers list. Fortunately, the autoresponders give us a system to do that. And let me show you how to do it in ActiveCampaign. They're all slightly different, but let me just show you how it is done in ActiveCampaign. So you want to go across here to the cog where it says automations. And when you get here, you want to go across up to the right hand side where it says create an automation. And we're going to start from scratch and continue. Okay. So we want to start a trigger. So we want, when somebody subscribes to a list, and we choose the list, when somebody subscribes to the buyer list, and we want it to run multiple times, so we add that as the start point. And you want to go down to contacts, and unsubscribe from the prospects list, apply, save. So now you can see when a contact subscribes to your buyer list, so when they go through our system and they are added and they purchase and they are added to the buyers list inside ActiveCampaign here, that is automatically going to unsubscribe them from the prospects list. And then we want to activate it by hitting that button up there on the right. And we'll call this prospects remove and save it. And there we are done. So now, when somebody goes to your website, your beginning of your web funnel, and fills in that prospects form, you've captured them as a lead. You can follow up with them by using an automated follow-up sequence to that prospects list. We actually give you a suggested follow-up sequence for your prospects, and that can be found inside of the resources section under the emails tab. Now, if you go there, you're going to find a follow-up sequence that's been professionally written by a professional copywriter. Feel free to copy and paste that and use that inside whatever autoresponder you're using, and that's going to be your follow-up sequence to your prospects. For your buyers, we don't provide any kind of guidance on that because that's very personal to you and your brand and how you're going to talk to your buyers and how you're going to build that relationship. So that's very much personal to you and your brand and how you communicate with your customers. So that's up to you, but you should definitely have a follow-up sequence to your buyers as well to deeper that relationship with them and offer them new products and cross products because if they've bought from you before, there's a much higher percentage chance that as long as you're doing a good job with your customer service and they get a good experience and we're going to deliver the product in a timely manner, which we are, then they're going to have a great experience from buying from you. There's a very high chance that they might want to buy something else from you as well. So make sure that you don't ignore the autoresponder section. It's a very, very important part of your online brand so that you can communicate better with your prospects and buyers. So that's it for today. I hope that you found that useful. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to us at support@tinybrander.com. Thanks a lot.